Ladies and gentlemen, with that, let's stay with the elections, but hop across before we come back to Chhattisgarh to Madhya Pradesh. 230 seats, and the fate of Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who's been chief minister for almost 17 years, is now locked in the EVMs to be decoded and told to us in the public on the 3rd of December. When the results come in, there is going to be so much interest on how the people of Madhya Pradesh have chosen to vote. In the context of things, such a fascinating electoral cycle is playing out, and it's something that as an observer, seeing it happen is always so interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, for Shivraj Singh Chauhan, does he return as chief minister? Becoming one of the longest serving BJP chief ministers, maybe, trouncing Naveen Patnaik and becoming the longest ever serving, could be. If the BJP does win, is it because Shivraj Singh Chauhan has done enough in this half-term government? Remember, he's had that Kamal Nath was the CM for the first couple of years. Has he done enough to prove it? Is it him, or is it still the Modi factor that takes place? Is this a state assembly election in absentia, or is it the semi-final for what's going to happen in 2024 in 6 months' time? What about Jyotiraditya Scindia? Remember, this is the first time there's a major election taking place after he switched sides from the Congress to the BJP, bringing down the previous government. He's a union minister now. Can he deliver more than his bastion in Gwalior? Has the infighting between Digvijay Singh and Kamal Nath hurt them? Has Kamal Nath, who's been working quietly, done enough? And if he has done enough, does that credit go to the state leadership? Does it go to Digvijay? Should it go to Kamal Nath, as it did to Karnataka in the Congress, or does the central leadership have its own fair share? Does Rahul Gandhi, is there an impact of Rahul Gandhi in Madhya Pradesh's state election? Is there an impact of Priyanka Gandhi in the Madhya Pradesh state election? So many things to discuss, but let's get the basics sorted out on election day. Atyab joining us on the broadcast. Atyab, polling is all but closed across the state. What are the figures we're looking at? Where are we expecting the tallies to end up in terms of turnout?
Well, as far as the turnout is concerned, the latest update that I got from the officials, that around 5 o'clock, the voting percentage was around 67%, which exactly happens to be lesser than the previous election. It was expected that the percentage is going to hype up, but still, it is one more hour statistics or data which are supposed to be revealed as soon as possible. Right now, I'm at this polling booth. The polling has stopped. The gates are closed. There are people inside who are casting their votes, who had entered before 6, and it's still going on here. I'll just take you through the visuals around these polling booths. What exactly is the status right now? Sir, कुछ लोग हैं अभी अंदर? नहीं. अभी पूरा हो गया आप क्या? Sir, this exactly is the polling booth, and there is no one now. कुछ लोग रह गए थे पीछे, थोड़ा लेट आए थे, 6 बजे के पहले पहुंचे थे.
जो नहीं हो गया ना 6 बजे के
सभी कंप्लीट हो गए, सारे कंप्लीट हो गए. क्या रहा परसेंटेज, कुछ वोटिंग परसेंटेज टर्नआउट यहाँ का, आपके बूथ का कितना रहा?
कम से कम 75% के आसपास.
75 के आसपास गया इस बूथ के ऊपर. ओवरऑल जिले का अगर देखें तो करीब 70 के आसपास बताया जाता है. जी, इसी तरीके शांतिपूर्वक रहा आप क्या? सब कुछ
शांतिपूर्वक मतदान,
किसी तरह की कोई
बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं हुआ. बिल्कुल शांत, कुछ भी नहीं.
So these exactly are the visuals that I'm taking you through, that the polling has stopped. Now the officials, they are into their paperwork. They are winding up everything. And as far as the wind up is concerned, I can see no one in the premises now. Hardly 15 minutes ago, there were around 20 to 25 people who were exactly looking forward to cast their votes. But now there is no one. I suppose this is the place where some people are still casting their votes.
Okay.
This exactly
so
is
the bottom line,
exactly is
how it runs, and for future reference, for if you issue of your voting, is if you're inside the polling booth in line before 6 p.m., you're allowed to cast your vote. But if you've not entered the polling booth by 6 p.m., then the gates do shut. In certain cases where there have been delays, they do extend voter turnout. The overall voter turnout, is near that 70% mark, is going to go up by a few percentage points when we get the final figures from the Election Commission. So it will be near, very much near what happened in 2018, which had a similar voter turnout. So no big dips and surprises there. Now the big question, of course, is people have come out to vote. Who have they voted for? We don't know. We're going to find out. And the exciting thing is, it is a bit close. Now all the political parties, of course, have to be confident in their chances of victory. You will get a lot of exit polls come the 1st of December. You'll get a lot of opinion polls. The parties will be doing their own polls. The truth is, it's a bit close. It's a bit close. Nobody really knows which ways it's going. So that means edgy times, whether you're in the Congress or in the BJP or support one party or the other party. Let me hop across to Bhopal now, where Kulbhushan, my colleague, is joining us. Kulbhushan, what's the situation on the ground?
बिल्कुल, मध्य प्रदेश की अगर बात की जाए तो 230 विधानसभा सीटों में अभी 6 बजे तक 72% मतदान हो चुका है, लेकिन ये मतदान अभी बढ़ेगा क्योंकि इस बार मध्य प्रदेश निर्वाचन आयोग की अगर हम बात की जाए तो यहाँ पर थोड़ा समय बढ़ाया गया था। सुबह 7 बजे से शाम 6 बजे तक जो है मतदाता अपने मत का उपयोग कर सके। पहले हम देखते थे कि 5 बजे तक का समय था, लेकिन इस बार 1 घंटे का अतिरिक्त समय दिया गया जिससे वोटिंग परसेंटेज बढ़े। बड़ी संख्या में हमारे साथ मतदाता हैं, एक एक करके हम उनसे चर्चा करेंगे। सबसे पहले तो आप बताइए, क्योंकि लंबे समय से बीजेपी की सरकार है, लोग चाह रहे हैं कि बदलाव भी हो, लेकिन विकास के नाम पे, क्योंकि आप सब युवा हैं, किस वजह से आप किसको वोट देंगे और अपना प्रत्याशी कैसा चुनेंगे?
भाजपा की सरकार में हर 2 महीने में एक ही बात आती थी, कभी पटवारी घोटाला तो कभी व्यापम घोटाला, कभी डंपर घोटाला। जनता उससे थक गई थी। 18 साल से ज्यादा हो गए थे और जब कांग्रेस की 1.5 साल की सरकार थी तो उस टाइम पे चोरी से, बैक गेट से, ऑपरेशन लोटस, ऑपरेशन कमल जिसे कहा जाता है, उससे ये लोग सरकार लेके आए थे। तो आज जो आप देख रहे हैं कि जितनी वोटिंग परसेंटेज हुई और जितनी ज्यादा हुई, उसका एक इकलौता वजह यही है क्योंकि जो नागरिक है वो जागरूक हो गया है। उसे मालूम है कि उसे वोट दे के ही सरकार से अपना बदला लेना पड़ेगा।
आप कैसा प्रत्याशी चुनेंगे?
देखिए, मैं बताऊं कि मैं भाजपा से इतना पीड़ित हूं कि अगर मैं शिवराज सिंह चौहान को घोषणा सिंह चौहान कहूं तो वो भी कम है, क्योंकि 2013 से मैं पास आउट हुआ हूं, LLB किया था, तो उस टाइम शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने घोषणा करी थी कि जो भी ऑल इंडिया बार का एग्जाम निकालेगा उसको लैपटॉप देंगे। आज 2023 भी कंप्लीट हो गया, 24 आने वाला, आज तक वो घोषणा रह गई। मेरे पास आज तक वो लैपटॉप नहीं आया। मेरा ऑल इंडिया बार का एग्जाम क्लियर हुआ था 2013 में। उसके बाद जो निर्वाचन आयोग ने भी जो आज काम किया है, वो काम भी भाजपा के एजेंडे के रूप में करा, उनके एजेंट के रूप में करा कि मुस्लिम क्षेत्र में, जो भी मुस्लिम बहुल क्षेत्र है, वहां पे पोलिंग बूथ ऐसे लगाए गए हैं कि स्लो वोटिंग रही, जिसकी वजह से प्रॉपर।
लेकिन एक्स्ट्रा समय भी तो दिया गया है। पहले 5 बजे का समय था, अब 6 बजे कर दिया गया, लेकिन मतदाता को जागरूक होना पड़ेगा, उन्हें घरों से बाहर
सब निकालना पड़ेगा। इसलिए थोड़ा सा कि सब चीजें, और पुलिस वालों का भी सपोर्ट रहा कि आखिरी 6 बजे तक हम वोटिंग करवाएंगे आपकी। वो जो लाइन में खड़ा हो जाएगा 6 बजे तक, तो उसकी भले 1 बजे तक वोटिंग होगी तो उसकी वोटिंग करवा के ही हम उसको उसके घर पहुंचाएंगे।
कैसा प्रत्याशी चुनेंगे जो आपका विकास करे, रोजगार दे? कैसा आप देखते हैं कि आपके क्षेत्र का विकास हुआ है?
विकास तो बिल्कुल हुआ है, क्योंकि हमारे जो MLA थे वो माननीय आरिफ मसूद साहब थे। उन्होंने पूरा विकास करा, जो उनसे होना था वो उन्होंने सब करा, जितना उनसे हो सका वो करा। ऑपोजिशन में
लेकिन एक बात सामने आती, फ्री की रेवड़ी, चाहे बीजेपी हो चाहे कांग्रेस, लगातार जो वादे किए जा रहे हैं, मध्य प्रदेश में कर्ज बढ़ते जा रहा है, आपके भविष्य, आपके घर के बच्चों के भविष्य के साथ खिलवाड़ किया जा रहा है, तो आप इसको कैसे देखते हैं? क्या फ्री की रेवड़ी, चाहे बीजेपी हो कांग्रेस, दोनों ही बांट रही है, तो नुकसान तो आपका है।
जब दिग्विजय सिंह जी 2004 के अंदर अपनी सरकार छोड़ के गए थे और आज तक का उठा लो, सबसे ज्यादा अगर लोन लिया है तो शिवराज मामा ने लिया है सबसे ज्यादा, और विकास के नाम पे कुछ हुआ नहीं और उल्टा सिर्फ कमीशन बटा है। बड़े बड़े प्रोजेक्ट आए, बड़े बड़े डैम बने हैं, आपने सुना होगा डैम बह गए, मंडीदीप वाला ब्रिज बह गया, थोड़ी 6 घंटे की बारिश होती ही नहीं, हमारा नरेला डूब जाता है।
तो फ्री की रेवड़ी की बात कर रहा हूँ, बीजेपी हो या कांग्रेस, दोनों फ्री की रेवड़ी दे रही है। भाई साहब, आप बहुत देर से कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं, आप बताइए, फ्री की रेवड़ी दोनों ही पार्टी देना चाहिए या नहीं?
रेवड़ी किसी से लेना चाहिए, विकास चाहिए, स्वास्थ्य चाहिए, सभी के लिए, चाहे रोजगार चाहिए, युवाओं को काम चाहिए, रोजगार चाहिए, और अच्छा नेता चाहिए जो सबको लेकर चले। वो विकास हुआ है मध्य क्षेत्र में, बहुत अच्छा विकास हुआ है और आगे भी चाहते हैं मध्य क्षेत्र में जो अभी तक विकास हुआ आगे भी हो।
बिल्कुल साफ तौर पे मध्य प्रदेश के जो मतदाता हैं उनका यही कहना है कि जो बड़े बड़े वादे किए जा रहे हैं मध्य प्रदेश की जनता से किए जा रहे हैं, फ्री की जो रेवड़ी बांटी जा रही है, इससे कहीं ना कहीं मध्य प्रदेश के जो मतदाता हैं उनको छला जा रहा है, क्योंकि जो टैक्स बढ़ाया जा रहा है, जो महंगाई बढ़ रही है, वो इस फ्री की रेवड़ी से बढ़ रही है। तो रोजगार के साधन में
lovely turns of phrase can only be appreciated in the vernacular. And that my colleague Kulbhushan has been doing very effectively. I'll leave it to your best judgment to distinguish between who were the voters in that conversation and who were the party workers or the cadres come out there. A lot of people have an agenda, but we managed to speak to a lot of voters today. And remember, when we are listening to anecdotal voices or what people are talking, we only get a flavor. A lot of people are very shy on talking to camera. They become very self-aware when the camera is on. Very rarely do you actually hear a realistic, that gut instinct which makes you press for one or the other. Some people are set voters. They're going to vote for a particular party or a particular leader because that's what they've always been doing. And they're wedded and nothing is going to convince them otherwise. But there's always a set in between which matters. And India elections swing on a few percentage of the votes. Joining us on the broadcast before I come back to Ehtiyab and my colleagues on the ground, Kulbhushan Saxena and Ehtiyab. Let me also rope in Yash Srivastav. He represents the Congress party. Akhil Khan is also joining us on the broadcast very, very shortly. Yashji, let me quickly kick this off with you and let's take a few direct questions. It's now done. It's finished. I know if you and I could predict the result, then we would be the biggest soothsayers and most valued in all of politics. Have you done enough, you think?
Rishabh ji, I believe it is always the people in the democracy who lead the way. So it's not what we have done. It is what people have expected and what they got out of any incumbent government. So you have been listening to this for a while now, but I'll reiterate in a very short summary that we have been listening to the people for a change, which the current or the government till now was not. And as you were listening to some locals from Bhopal and you were weighing their words, I would like to help you with that because I happen to have move around in Bhopal quite a bit. So most of them were speaking the truth, and they were not party workers. They were ordinary citizens who were looking at Bhopal from their native perspective. So yes, there is a lot of answering for the BJP to do before people, and which is what translated into the people's rage, and which will be reflected on the December 3rd.
Okay, so let me rephrase the question because I know it's a bit academic because it only matters on December 3rd one way or the other. But let me rephrase the question. In Himachal, for example, a very interesting connotation we got on the ground is that when the Congress party was talking about government employees and their plans for government employees, that seemed to click because when people are voting, they were talking about that. It's very particular subject, unemployment and development, and in generic terms, everybody says. There's a particular subject. In Karnataka, there was a victory for the Congress. You didn't have to rely on a JDS ally also. You won it straightforward. So when in these two states, what learnings did you come to Madhya Pradesh with?
See, in a nutshell, the learning would be the same, that listening to people instead of forcing your own belief or motives. But in Madhya Pradesh, I'd like to mention some few particular things, that Madhya Pradesh, belonging to the Hindi belt, has been a center for Hindu-Muslim politics because of the BJP for quite a while now. And people were mostly frustrated because the answer to every question cannot be religious division. And of course, there were these recent burning issues, Mahakal Lok and the horrendous incidents in Ujjain, Rewa, and the absolute disregard to the service of cow, by virtue of which BJP got votes by serving 1 rupee per day for the cow meal. And n number of such issues, unemployment, inflation, and of course the old pension scheme which was removed by the NDA. And we happen to understand the importance, and we wish to get that back for the people. So all this translates into a very people-centric perspective, I would say.
Okay, you say people-centric. All right. So, Yash, in a very real sense, okay, the people have voted for Shivraj Chauhan in a direct victory 3 times. He won enough seats even in the last elections that when you had a party split, he could form the government yet again. 17 years as chief minister, that's a long time. Today the BJP says that the era of this anti-incumbency vote is over, that healthy voting figures, and we'll probably hit 76, 77%, same as last time or a bit more, that there are actually people coming out to vote the incumbent in support. Why are they wrong? Why are we assuming today that it's not the BJP's miracle? Because people have voted for the same Shivraj Singh Chauhan several times.
Rishabh ji, your answer, the answer to your question goes in two parts. First, I have watched Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan quite closely, observing him for a long time, because 18 years is a very long time. And all I saw was Mr. Chauhan chanting shloks from Ramcharitmanas, which is a good thing, as long as you happen to be a religious preacher. Once people give you a constitutional post and ask for your responsibility, then these Ramcharitmanas cannot be your answer. Of course, you can go ahead and chant all you want, but you also need to be answerable to people and deliver, which is where the current incumbent government seems to be failing. Secondly, about the very reason that Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji got elected and people trusted him. So the onus becomes quite heavier, and which is why one needs to be more sensible, not sensible, but slightly more sensitive towards certain issues. So when you impose your own motive, you go out and sell government infrastructure like nothing. You let private people rule the government infrastructure. You ruin our roads for years for a senseless project. Let me tell you, there is a Bhopal Metro Rail project wherein there are 3 metro stations laid out in 1400 meters. So that talks a bit of volume.
But Mr. Srivastava, as you know, they didn't vote for him once. They voted for him 3 times, and in the 4th time he was just shot. But so let me ask you another question. Politicians like you have their ear to the ground, and one would assume Jyotiraditya Scindia had his ear to the ground. He is a politician, he is a local, he comes from the state, and he felt just a few months into a Congress regime that there was no future for the Congress in Madhya Pradesh, because he has taken his future and put it with the Bharatiya Janata Party. So if he felt that the Congress was in trouble in Madhya Pradesh, why is he wrong today?
Whether he's right or wrong is his own perspective. What difference has it made in his politics and the politics of Madhya Pradesh? That I can tell you. Earlier, Jyotiraditya Scindia ji were, it was easily, he was easily called Maharaja, and no one had a problem. Now you have seen all sorts of colorful visuals with him watching with his hands behind his back, bowing down to our beloved great leader of the galaxy, and also picking up chappals for another mantri, and being there standing for cheetahs to be delivered, which the cheetahs did not survive either, which is a very tragic incident, because I would have loved to see those animals being going around flourishing in our environment, but sadly that did not happen. So Scindia ji's politics has been taking a hit, because when you lose trust of your people, when you switch around with your MLAs, and we all know why really did Scindia ji's made that switch. So I don't need to reiterate that. We are past the election.
No, we don't know really, but I can speculate because we are not in his head.
Yes, we have some speculations
we can
which may be considered real.
That politicians like to be in power, they like to be in influential positions, and they like to have their ear on the ground. Now, it could be a risk that doesn't pay off. It could be alienating the voters, as you say, might have indeed happened, or it could be that he was aware of some different trend that the Congress failed to recognize. In the end, if all of us could predict which the voters wanted, we'll all be CMs and PMs. But it's an art. It's an art or a science that is beyond human complexity at this point of time. Stay with me, Akhil Khan, joining us on the broadcast. Let me get a perspective here. Akhil ji, 17 years as chief minister. It's not that the people gave Shivraj a chance, then were disappointed, got rid of him, got somebody else. Faith was reiterated in him several times. The last time around, even though he fell just short, not by a large margin, fell just short, Jyotiraditya Scindia was confident enough that it was worth bringing down the government and hitching his ride, because he also has to think of the future. He's on the younger age of politicians. Why should the Congress feel that they've flipped it, that they've done something amazing in the past couple of years?
First of all, I would like to say it is the BJP, it's exceptional performance of BJP who can transform a humble and honest person into the most corrupt politician when bringing in BJP. Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, I know him personally very well. I know him, his Budni constituency also. I have been there for many days. So I know since very long. So Mr. Chauhan has become the most corrupt person, and that is his the biggest drawback, his biggest bad quality, I would say. And that has been because of the BJP only. Regarding
but where do we
Congress,
where do we get that from? Because we know in election this happens. I'm being told Kejriwal is the most corrupt person in liquor scam, might face arrest. Okay, we're being told Bhupesh Baghel is the most corrupt person. You are saying Shivraj Singh Chauhan is the most corrupt person.
You see Vyapam Ghotala.
No, but
Vyapam Ghodala, rape,
sir, in my
mafia.
career, I've seen two people convicted, Lalu Yadav and Sasikala. Okay, so I have no basis of judging other than in politics. But do you think there is a perception which has emerged in Madhya Pradesh that there is corruption in government?
Yes, of course, because Vyapam Ghotala, people everywhere knows very well that Vyapam Ghotala is the biggest Ghotala of MP in the history of MP, and BJP's chief minister has become the biggest corrupt person in the history of Madhya Pradesh. That is for sure. You cannot deny that. And there are so many other things happen. Rozgar, about the performance of BJP, you will see there is no Rozgar. There is no Bijli Pani Shiksha Swasth, which is the hallmark of today's politics. So BJP is just making the politics. They are giving some, you see, lollipops to the people and showing when the election has round the corner, has come round the corner, then BJP started doing all these things.
But
and
how is that
years, that is the
how
reason.
is, but this on CNG and jobs, the lollipops are exactly the same. How are the lollipop? What is Kamal Nath and the Congress offering that is so much different than the BJP in these things? CNG, jobs, exactly the same thing.
You see, when Mr. Our
sorry, not
Congress
CNG, LPG, yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. When this last Congress chief minister came into power, Congress has started doing all good things, this is I can say, and they are starting doing all the things against corruption, and BJP was very much scared at that time, and the Scindia was being sidelined because of those corruption charges, and there are so many things Scindia was not doing well. He has got so many other personal problems as well. So when he was sidelined, so Scindia has got some very good support from his constituency because of his background. So
okay,
at that time, Congress has sidelined. Because of that sidelining, he joined BJP because he was not going to have any good opportunities in Congress that time.
Okay. I'm trying to get Vandana Tripathi as well in. She represents the Bharatiya Janata Party, and we'll just have a one-on-one. So what's your summation, sir? Vandana ji, what Akhil ji seems to be suggesting to us is that it is, whether it's true or false is irrelevant, because like I said, investigation and convictions, you can argue till the cows come home. There have only been 2 convictions in the history of senior level politicians. But does the charge stick? So let me get Vandana Tripathi of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Vandana ji, so here we are, ma'am. It's finished. The campaign is over. The elections are now concluded. The voter turnout has been healthy. It'll probably be the same or better than last time. So the people have now put their faith in the EVMs, and we'll know on December 3rd. Do you think you've done enough?
Hello to everyone. Of course, we have done enough in last 18 years, and that is visible in the state's vicinity of the people, in the growth of the people, and you can see how people have developed in the past 18 years. Previously, what Madhya Pradesh was, it was a Bimaru state, but now it has become a Bemisal state. So that states that we have developed a lot. You can see our Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has taken so many steps for the upliftment of women, especially for the upliftment of smaller girls, for the upliftment of newly born girl child. So you can see the Kanya, the Ladli Lakshmi Yojana for the small children who were born as a girl child. So for them, the Ladli Lakshmi Yojana was a very important change maker because previously the gender ratio was very bad in Madhya Pradesh. Gender inequality was not there. There were 911 girls born on 1,000 boys. But now you can see there are 974 girls who are born on 1,000 boys. So the gender ratio has improved a lot. This is because of the results of the schemes that our Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji has brought. Another changing the scenario has been the Kanya Vivah Yojana. So now people don't consider their daughters as that they are some kind of headache to them.
Okay, so Vandraji, obviously on the face of it, good things, but the election is over now. So whether it was good, bad, effective, ineffective, people have already now passed their judgment. So let me ask you now, more straightforward questions. Last time around, when the BJP came back with 56 less seats, came back with just 109, 108, 109 seats. What is the analysis you did? What was the reason that the BJP dropped by 56 that you have felt you've recovered in the past couple of years?
See, if we talk about the last time's election, so the voting percentage was not bad for BJP. Yeah, we did not win the elections because of some margin we lost it. But again, we have formed the government because there were people in the Congress party who were not supporting the Vichardhara of Congress. Rather, they were in support of BJP schemes, BJP Vichardhara. So they came up with us. And as you know, that politics is all about coming and going. So in political domain, nobody is permanent. Anybody can shift his domain anytime. So that was the thing. So we again formed the government, and I don't think there's something wrong in that.
Okay, so I'll come to that. I'll come to that. But I'm assuming, so you are right. Let me put the facts on record. The BJP won 41% of the vote even last time. That was down about 2-3%, and that 2-3% was the difference in 56 seats. Just 3% of the vote made a difference. So the largest party in terms of vote share, 109 seats compared to the 114 the Congress got. So second largest in terms of seat share.
Yes,
so obviously you would have done some analysis on why that vote fell by 3%, costing you 56 seats. So in the distribution of the tickets and contest, what do you think you've gotten right this time? That 1 or 2% vote share is the difference between forming the government. That's all. Just 1 or 2% vote.
See, of course, every party does an analysis whenever he lost the election, loses the election. When we lost the election, we also did analysis, and the analysis tells us that there were people who were supporting our party, but they have not gone for voting. So this time we are coming up with Booth Vijay Sankalp Abhiyan, which states that everybody in the booth will ensure, in the Shakti Kendra will ensure that each person comes and votes.
Okay.
So this time we are working on the development of booth level karyakartas.
Okay, so you're obviously hoping that the people you're mobilizing are your supporters and will come and vote for you, and that 2-3% makes the difference. Okay,
people.
All right, ma'am. Last time around, Jyotiraditya Scindia was in the opposition. Okay, now he's part of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The numbers would argue that with his presence and certain bastions that he could earlier deliver for the Congress, if he delivers them for you, you should be through. But we can't take that for granted. Has Jyotiraditya Scindia's presence been seen as opportunistic? Has it actually benefited your party, or is it actually hurt your party? Because there were people competing against him a few years ago whom he's now superseding.
See, if you see the ground base of Jyotiraditya Scindia ji's family, so Rajmata Scindia was what I should say, she laid the foundation of BJP. She was the one who laid the foundation of BJP, and she is a woman who has been praised and worshipped in all our BJP offices yet. So Scindia ji is not from some other family. Yeah, his father changed the political domain. He went to Congress, but now again he is back home. So we can't say that Scindia ji is an outsider or a refugee. He is someone from our family only. So his presence is always regarded. His presence is always praised, and people have taken him with open arms. Everybody who is working under him works with a lot of excitement, happiness, because Gwalior Chambal region is the most important region of Bharatiya Janata Party, which we need to win this time. And Scindia ji is going to be the kingmaker of that
Vandana ji, quick last question. Now, in a larger context of India, as we look at India as a whole, obviously is the BJP is the party to beat. There was a point of time when you were winning everything. And at the central level, you know, every time an election has happened in the last 10 years, the surprise has been on the upswing, not on the downswing. So given that you are the party to beat, when you lose and you had a narrow loss in Himachal, you had a loss in Karnataka, what do you think that the opposition to you, in that case the Congress, did right in those two states that you learnt a lesson for in Madhya Pradesh?
See, Congress has not done something very special over there. There was a difference of minimum 0.005 percentage in Himachal Pradesh.
Yes.
So the Congress has not done some wonders. Rather, I would say that, yes, okay, we have learned a lot from these states and we will be implementing it in Madhya Pradesh. We have implemented it in Madhya Pradesh. And as I told you, we are working on the booth level. We are strengthening our booths so that each one comes to vote and each one supports our party. Our Karyakartas are going door to door, not during elections. Every time we are organizing various kinds of campaigns. So we are a party who is always on work. We believe in the show must go on. So when we stop with the election, we close up with one election, we start preparing for the next election. So BJP is working on the concept of Chareveti. So we are working throughout the year.
I'll put the caveats out there that of course all of this is speculative. None of us know, not even the candidates themselves sometimes, on what exactly has happened, which is why democracy is such a wondrous thing. We don't know what's going to happen on December the 3rd.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.